No, what's at them? Give me a couple minutes. 1 minute. Almost there. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right, 1 minute over. Not too bad. Oh, I'm almost there. I thought I'd just go on live and then figure out the rest later. That was my thinking. Okay. Is that better? Okay, perfect. So as perfect as I can. All right. I can never get it right. It so sucks. Okay. Sitting on it. It's always sitting on something. Okay, that's as best as I could do, I think. Yeah, it's not gonna get better. Maybe. Okay. No, it's not gonna get better. Okay, I'm gonna settle with this. I'm okay with it, I think. All right, cool. Yoga Sutra. What music should I use? I want to study music. I love music when reciting Sanskrit. Otherwise, it sounds like hell, literally. It sounds like a voice coming from hell if you don't use music while we're reciting Sanskrit. It's hell, hell, hell. Okay, here we go. Yay. Can I set my background to like something else? I'll do that. Maybe after this. I'll take a break, and then during that I'll change the background to something more accommodating. Dark rays are no, but maybe purple. Purple. 32. Yoga Sutra, book 1, 32. This is what is it? Sutra and the comment by Veda. 32 is gonna be long. It's 3 pages long. Okay. Let's get through it. No, Shakam. No, Shalom. Okay. Ataitem Pikushwepang Samadhi Prati Pakusha Sitang Pya What the fuck? Look at that shit. In order to study Sanskrit, not only do you have to learn to read Sanskrit, you have to find the text to read because they're all messed up. Welcome to the real world. Sorry, I've been overusing that lately. Stupid texts. I deal with stupid everything. Everything is stupid. Mecca. They couldn't fucking... This is met, by the way. So if you know anything about Sanskrit, like, look at this shit. That's what I have to deal with here. Okay. And it just sounds somewhat familiar. My camera is going wild again. It happens when there's spiritual stuff involved. Okay, here we go. From the arrow. Stupid. Me. Okay, I'm gonna put that in. Ataiten Pikushwa Pang Samati Prati Pakusha Setang Pyam Evang Pya Sapaira Gya Pyam Nirodha Tabyang. Second try. Me. Sorry. And people wonder why I got mad all the time. They're like, he's always mad. He might be the smartest person ever, but he sucks because he's always mad. Yeah, fucking make me madder, don't you? Okay, here we go. Yeah. If you're not smart, you won't understand. Ataitem Pikushwa Pang Samati Prati Pakusha Setang Pyam Evang Pya Sabaira Gya Pyam Nirodha Tabyang Tatra Pyam Sasyam Vishayam Samharanan Nidamaha. Just checking this Pasina Siam, right? Nothing. Yeah, okay, cool. Second try. Tatra Pyam Sasyam Vishayam Samharanan Nidamaha. Vishayam Samharanan Nidamaha. Third try, last try. Tatra Pyam Sasyam Vishayam Samharanan Nidamaha. Okay. One more. Tatra Pyam Sasyam Vishayam Samharanan Nidamaha. Now the sutra itself. Tatra Pratik Shwe Thai Tameka Tatra Devang Pyam Sah. Second try. Tatra Pratik Shwe Thai Tameka Tatra Devang Pyam Sah. Last try. Tatra Pratik Shwe Thai Tameka Tatra Devang Pyam Sah. Moving on. Bigushwapa Pratishwat Hai Tamekatata Devang Balamambanam Chitatama Pyasat. Second try. Bigushwapa Pratishwat Hai Tamekatata Devang Balamambanam Bigushwapa Pratishwat Hai Tamekatata Devang Balamambanam Chitatama Pyasat. Moving on. Nasyang tu Pratyaltaniyatam Pratyaya matram kushwonuikam chang chitatam tasyam saivamevan chitatamekanagram nasutyavan pikushwepatama. Second try from the arrow. Mind check. Okay, cool. Yasyam tu pratyaltaniyatam pratyaya matram kushonuikam chang chitatam tasyam saivamevan chitatamekanagram nasutyavan pikushwepatama. Last try. I got it right. One in the back. Yasyam tu pratyaltaniyatam pratyaya matram kushonuikam chang chitatam tasyam saivamevan chitatamekanagram nasutyavan pikushwepatama. Yati punanidam saivatah pratyang hurutyaika suminanaltem samathiyate tadang bhavatyekang agara mityato na pratyartha mityatam. Second try. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai kasmin naltem samadhiyate tadang bhavatyekang agara mityato na pratyartha niyatam. I mean, yeah, it counts. Tiato. One in the bank, last try. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai kasmin. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai kasmin nalte samadhiyate tadang bhavatyekang agara mityato na pratyartha niyatam. Last, absolute last try, fourth try. I don't usually do fourth or fifth or sixth is the absolute last. No more than six. Fourth try. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai kasmin naltem samadhiyate tadang bhavatyekang agara mityato na pratyartha niyatam. Fifth try. Two more and then I'm done. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai kasmin naltem samadhiyate tadang bhavatyekang agara mityato na pratyartha niyatam. Okay, sixth, Satan try. It's the absolute. I don't care if I make a mistake. It's in my brain now. Yadi punaridam sarvatah pratyang hrutyai kasmin nalte samadhiyate tadang bhavatyekang agara mityato na pratyartha niyatam. Moving on. Yopi sadurasha pratyaya prabang hena chetatamekang agara manyatem tasyaikang agaratang yadi prabang ha chetatasya thamasatadaikam nasati prabang ha chetatam kushonui katavangat. Second try. Yopi sadurasha pratyaya prabang hena chetatamekang agara manyatem tasyaikang agaratang yadi prabang ha chetatasya Thamasatadaikam nasati prabang hachitatam kushonui katavangat. Moving on. Atam prabang ham shasyaivam pratyayasya taimaha salvaha sadurasha pratyaya prabang hi. Wait, there's no comma in Sanskrit system. This person doesn't use a comma, thank you. But he doesn't include all the other versions. Or there's no such thing as all the other versions. He doesn't include any variations. Okay, so where was I? Here. Ata. Yeah, it's long. A time. I can't find the text. Maybe they combined it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it's not supposed to be separated. Okay, so the colon there, it's first of all, it's Western, it's not Sanskrit. If you know, that's an illegal alien within the text. And sometimes this author uses a comma instead of this. That's why I checked. There we go. Na shalom. Atam prabang ham shasyaiva pratyayasyam taimaha salvaha sadurasha pratyaya prabang hi pang pisadurasha pratyaya prabang hi pang pratyarthanya tatatavanga dekang agram eveti pikushvepatachitang nupapatitiha pikushvepatachitang Pikushvepatachitang nupapatitiha papatitiha. Second try. Atam prabang ham shasyaiva pratyayasya taimaha salvaha sadurasha pratyaya prabang hi pang pisadurasha pratyaya prabang hi pang pratyarthanya pratyalthanya tattva dekang gran eveti pikushvepatachitata nupapatatiha. Last try. Atam pravahams atam pravaham shasyaiva pratyayasya taimaha chaivaha sadarasha pratyaya pravahi pang pisadarasha pratyaya pravahi pang pratyalthanya tattva dekang gran eveti pikushvepatachitata nupapatatiha pratyalthanya tattva pratyalthanya tattva dekang gran eveti pikushvepatachitata nupapatatiha. One more, last, fourth try. I'm not gonna do more than fourth try because it's long. Atha prabhangham shasyaiva pratyayasya taimaha saivaha sadarasha pratyaya prabhangahi pang pisadarasha pratyaya prabhangahi pang pratyalthanya tattva dekang gran eveti pikushvepatachitata nupapatatiha. Okay, now I'm just gonna correct something. Pisadarasha pratyaya prabhangahi pang pratyalthanya tattva dekang gran eveti pikushvepatachitata nupapatatiha. Moving on. I said it 4 times. It's in my brain. After third time, it just goes into the brain. Unlike other languages, Sanskrit, if you know it, it just goes into the brain after the third time. You don't have to say it. It becomes really redundant. The body responds by giving you pain. Like, stop it. Go to the next one. Okay. 2 more pages left after this. Nasama deka maneka tamava satitam jitatamiti. Second try. Dasama deka maneka tamava satitam. Dasama deka maneka tamava satitam jitatamiti. Moving on. Yati jam jitatanai kenang nanan bitang Sivapava Pinanah Pratyayang Jayaranan Natam Katamanya Pratyaya Durashurta Syanyah Samaitang Pavet. Second try. Yadi Jam Jitanaikana Nanan Bitang Sivapava Pinanah Pratyayang Jayaranan Natam Katamanya pratyaya durashirtasyanyah samaitang pavet. Last try. Yadi jam jitanaikena nanambitang sivapava pinanah pratyayang jayarananatam katamanya pratyaya durashirtasyanyah samaitang pavet. Moving on. Anya pratyayopang chitatasyam Anya pratyayopachitasyam. Really? Double checking spelling. Anya. Oh, shut up too. Anya pratyayopachitasyam. Wow, okay. I was wrong. The author was right. I just should be. Sorry. I'm gonna just start from here. Jam kaima shayasyanyah pratyaya upapokutang pavet. Second try, and there'll be second version. I'm just gonna read the second version once, right? And that's it. No 3 tries. Anya pratyaya. I mean, if I don't get it right, I'll say it. I mean, I'll keep saying it, but if I get it right just once, I'll move on. Anya pratyayopang chitat. Anya pratyayopachitasyam jam kaima shayasyanyah pratyaya upapokutang pavet. Moving on. Number 1. Oh, scared. These changes scare me. Pavet sama. Where is sama? What is he talking about? Sama. Does he mean to skip all these things and then go where sama is? I don't see any sama. Are you kidding me? I'm skipping up to there. Sama. There is no sama. Yeah, this author is has made an error. Sama, where is Sama? I don't see Sama. 7. Yeah, this is the closest thing. Sama. This is not Sama. Dasama. That's all I could think of. Dasama. Maybe he meant to skip to Dasama. Where is it? Dasama. No, it's Sama. Or maybe it's Dama. Dama. But it looks like Sama. Welcome to the world of learning Sanskrit. After you've learned how to read Sanskrit, you have to find the correct texts that are everywhere. It's problematic. It's disorganized. Look at this shit. I mean, where is it? Okay, you know what? Forget the alternative. The whole reason why I'm reading this version is because of these things. And the author made a mistake. I mean, I don't. It's easy. Like, oh my god. So I found it. This over here, sa, ma, and this is what he meant. The second version skips these 3 syllables, 3 characters of the word. This is one word from here to there, and the version. So I'm gonna read 2 versions. The next thing, that's what he meant. So one version has these 3 syllables before the word, and the other version starts with sama. See how far sa is from mang? Gatam chitta samangati yamang namapietadu goma yapang yasi yaniya yama kushwipati. Second try, and there will be a second version. Gatam chitta samati yama namapietadu goma yapang yasi yaniya yama kushwipati. Last try. Gatam chitta samati yama namapietadu goma yapang yasi yaniya yama kushripati. 4th try. You know what? I'm just gonna get it right once. Gatam chitta samati yama namapietadu goma yapang yasi yaniya yama kushripati. Okay. Second version, starting from here, sama. Samati yama namapietadu goma yapang yasi yaniya yama kushripati. Moving on. Kim chang sevatama no pava pa huna ba shittasya nyatave prapanoti. Look at this fuzziness. If you know anything about Sanskrit, what the heck is that shit? Alright, my guess is what I said, which is na. Huna. Huna. Where is? Okay, what was I reading? Kim chang. Kim. Almost done. Wow. Kim chang. Huna. Yeah, huna. Look at that. Huna. It's clear. Not so clear. Kim chang sevangatama no pava pahuna pasha chittasya nyatave prapanoti. Last try. Kim chang sevangatama no pava pahuna. Kim chang sevangatama no pava pahuna pasha chittasya nyatave prapanoti. Moving on. Gatam. I gotta memorize that. Gatam. Okay. Gatam yadahapma drakusham tat sapurashami yachachang sapurakusham tat pashyami tya hamiti pratyayah saivasya pratyayasya. Pede or mede? Oh, look at that. Mede or pede. Sati pratyayaniya. Pe is pede. Pede sati pratyayiniya pede nopa satitah. And there will be 2 versions. For first try, that was the first try. Pede, double checking. Pede, yes. And anything else? Sham, 2 shams. Pede. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Salvasya, yeah. Pratya, yeah, pratya. See this? Pratya, it looks like prasya. Pratya, kushasya. Pratyayasya, pratyayasya. Pratya. Okay, cool. Second try. And it starts with Gatham. Gatham Yadahama Gatham Yadahamadra Kusham Tata Sapurashami Yachachang Sapra Kusham Tata Pashyami Tyahamiti Pratyayah Sarvasyam Pratyayasya Pede Sati Pratyayinya Pede Nopasatitah Pratyayinya Pede Nopasatitah. Just one more checking. This could be something else. Doubt it. I have to check. Okay, cool. Third try, last try. Sorry. There you go. No, Shakam. No, Shalom. Gatam Yadahamapra Gatam Yadahamadra Kosham Tata Saprashami Yachachang Sapra Kosham Tata Pashyami Tyahamiti Pratyayah Sarvasyam Pratyayasya Pede Sati Pratyayinya Pede Nopasititah. One more. Fourth try. It was a Gatam. Gatam. Gatam Yadahamadra Kosham Tata Saprashami Yachachang Sip Gatam Yadahamapra Gatam Yadahamadra Kosham Tata Saprashami Yachachang Sapra Kosham Tata Pashyami Tyahamiti Pratyayah Sarvasyam Pratyayasya Pede Sati Pratyayinya Pede Nopasititah. I'll take it. No, second verse. There's a second version. I don't want to waste too much time. I said it right. Pratyayibi. Pratyayibi. Pratyang. No, it doesn't make sense. Okay. Shyamyaha. 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 I'm gonna put that there so I know. Katham Yadahamadra Kusham Tata Sapurashami Yachachang Sapra Kusham Tata Pashyami Tyahamiti Pratyayah Sarvasyam Pratyayasya Pede Sati Pratyayinya Pede Nopasititah. Alright, so I read the first version again, so that's in the bank. I forgot what I was supposed to say here. It's stupid. Stupid. I think somebody doesn't like the word stupid. Stupid. Shamyaha. 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 Okay, Shamyaha. Gatam Yadahama Gatam Yadahamadra Kusham Tata Sapurashami Yachachang Sapra Kusham Tata Pashyami. Stupid. Stupid. Miyaha, 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 miyaha. Gatam Yadahamadra Kusham Tata Sapurashami Yachachang Sapra Kusham Tata Pashyamiyahamiti Pratyayah Sarvasyam Pratyayasya Pede Sati Pratyayinya Pede Nopasititah. Minyahamiti, right? Shamyahamiti, Shamyahamiti. One more. Miyahamiti. Gatam Yadahamadra Kusham Tata Saprashami Yachachang Sapra Kusham Tata Pashyami Miyahamiti. Gatam Yadahamadra Kusham Tata Saprashami Yachachang Sapra Kusham Tata Pashyami Miyahamiti. Shyamyahamiti. Stupid people. Miyahamiti. Are you fucking kidding me? They couldn't put the whole word there, you know. Katam Yadahamadra Kosham Tatasa Purushami Yachachasa Prakosham Tata Pashyamya Hamiti Pratyayah Saivasyam Pratyayasya Pede Sati Pratyayinya Pede Nopasititaha. Okay, I got distracted. One more. Mia, Shamia, 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 Katam Yadaham, Katam Yadahama, Katam Yadahamadra Kosham, Tata Sapuroshami, Yachachan Sapra Kosham, Tata Pashyamya Hamiti, Pratyayah Saivasyam, Pratyayasya Pede Sati, Pratyayinya Pede Nopasititaha. Okay, moving on. There's another version. Oh my god, all these. See, I wish there's 3 versions actually, 2 and 3, which will make it 4 versions for me. Okay. Eka pratyayam vishoyoyam ma pedanta ma hamiti pratyayah kathamatyananta pinaneshwa jetatashu paltamanah samanyamekam pratyayina ma shirang yat shrang. I don't see it. Okay. Why is he using a question mark? I don't understand. Shrayat. Okay, second try. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam apedanta mahamiti pratyayah kathamatyanata pinan kathamatyanata pinaneshu chituteshu paltamanah samanyamekam pratyayina mashrayat. Last try. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam apedanta mahamiti pratyayah kathamatyanata pinaneshu chituteshu paltamanah samanyamekam pratyayina mashrayat. Pratyayina mashrayat. Last try. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam apedanta mahamiti pratyayah kathamatyananta pinaneshu chituteshu paltamanah samanyamekam pratyayina mashrayat. Okay, second version. Yi, Yi. Yi, so this becomes Yi, okay? Eka pratyaya yibishoyoyam apedanta mahamiti pratyayah kathamatyananta pinaneshu chituteshu paltamanah samanyamekam pratyayina mashrayat. Okay, that was the second version. Now the third version, and third version will have 2 versions because this changes. Yeah, this changes once, so this version will have 2. Okay, number 3, I'm scared. Manam, okay. Manam. Okay, so this becomes manam. I'm gonna put that there. First try, third version. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam apedanta mahamiti pratyayah kathamatyananta pinaneshu chituteshu paltamanah samanyamekam pratyayina mashrayat. Oh, I missed it. What is it? Paltamanam nam, right? Nam. Okay, so that one didn't count. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam apedanta mahamiti pratyayah kathamatyananta pinaneshu chituteshu paltamanam samanyamekam pratyayina mashrayat. One more. Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam apedanta Eka pratyaya vishoyoyam eka pratyaya vishoyoyama pedantama hamiti pratyaya katamatyananta pinaneshu chituteshu valtamanam samanyamekam pratyayinama shrayat. Okay, now fourth version, because this changes. Yi. Eka pratyayi. Eka pratya. No, that's not human. Eka pratyayi vishoyoyama pedantamang hamiti pratyaya katamatyananta pinaneshu chituteshu valtamanam samanyamekam pratyayinama shrayat. Moving on. Okay, no more variations. It'll be easy now. Sivano pava guranga hyang shichayama pedantama hamiti pratyaya. Okay, fuzzy. Two fuzziness. Sivano pava guranga hyang. Okay, cool. Second try. Sivano pavagran hyashicayama pedantama hamiti pratyaya. One in the bank. Last try. Sivano pavagran hyashicayama. Sivano pavagran hyashicayama pedantama hamiti pratyaya. Moving on. Jam pratyakushasya mahatemyam brahmanantarena pipuyatem. Okay, second try. Jam pratyakushasya mahatemyam brahmanantarena pipuyatem. One in the bank. I want to just check fuzzy spell, fuzziness. Okay. Last try, already got one right. Jam pratyakushasya mahatemyam brahmanantarena pipuyatem. Brahmanantaram jam pratyakushapalena ivam vyavaharam lapatem. Ugh, look at that fuzziness. Lapate. Yep, okay. Second try. Brahmanantaram jam Brahmanantaram jam pratyakushabalena ivam vyavaharam lapatem. Last try. Brahmanantaram jam pratyakushabalena ivam vyavaharam lapatem. Oh, I got distracted big time. Somebody was really angry when I was saying these things. Imagine people being angry when you're saying something like Brahmanantaram. Somebody goes, ah. That's welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world. Trying to get fancier with the camera. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna show you that. All right, second try. Or last try. Third try. Brahmanantaram jam pratyakushabalena ivam vyavaharam lapatem. Last sentence. Tasamanta kamanekal tamavasatitam jam jitutama. One more. Tasamanta kamanekal tamavasatitam jam jitutama. Namaste. Okay. That was not bad. It's one of the longer, I would say top 20 longest comment in the whole book. So I'm okay. So look at that. It's really long. All right, reading two translations. Shut up to 32, 32, 32. Here we go. Oops. Furthermore, these distractions, the foes of concentration, are to be restricted by the same practice and passionlessness. Of these, in summing up, he describes the object to which the practice is. To check them, practice upon a single entity. To check them, let him practice his mind stuff by making it rest upon a single entity. But one whose mind stuff is nothing more than an idea limited to one object after another, and is momentary, of this the mind stuff as a whole is surely not single in intent, and it is surely not distracted. But if this is withdrawn from all and concentrated upon one, then it may be said to be single in intent, hence not limited to one object after another. If, on the other hand, if on the other hand, of him who maintains that the mind stuff is, if on the other, sorry, somebody's right outside my door, I think. If, on the other hand, of him who maintains that the mind stuff becomes single in intent as a stream of similar ideas, singleness in intent be a property of the mind stuff as a stream, then the mind stuff as a stream could not be a single thing, because it changes from moment to moment. If, however, the singleness of intent is a property of an idea only insofar as it forms a part of the stream, then, whether it consists in a stream of similar ideas or in a stream of dissimilar ideas, it is all of it in no wise other than single in intent, inasmuch as it is limited to one object after another, and the fact that the mind stuff is distracted is unexplained. I'm going to read it again, sorry. Yeah, somebody's right outside my door. I know this because I'm making mistakes. I cannot be surrounded by other people, if you noticed. Okay. Yeah, the only humans that could be around are like real Brahmanas. If, however, the singleness of intent is a property of an idea only insofar as it forms a part of the stream, then, whether it consists in a stream of similar ideas or in a stream of dissimilar ideas, it is all of it in no wise other than single in intent, inasmuch as it is limited to one object after another, and the fact that the mind stuff is distracted is unexplained. One more. If, however, the singleness of intent is a property of an idea only insofar as it forms a part of the stream, then, whether it consists in a stream of similar ideas or in a stream of dissimilar ideas, it is all of it in no wise other than single in intent, inasmuch as it is limited to one object after another, and the fact that mind stuff is distracted is unexplained. Distracted is unexplained. Therefore, it may be said that mind stuff is a single thing, has many intended objects, and is stable. Furthermore, if ideas accidentally related and different in nature were produced by a single mind stuff, then what a situation! One idea would be the remembrancer of a thing seen by another idea, and one idea would be later the experiencer of the latent impression of Gaima accumulated by another idea. Even if this could in some way be harmonized, it would surpass the maxim of the cow dung as a milky preparation. I hope the person goes away. I can't speak anything when people are around. It's just the way I am. Even if this could in some way be harmonized, it would surpass the maxim of the cow dung as a milky preparation. Moreover, if the mind stuff is to be one another, Moreover, if the mind stuff is to be one another, then it denies the experience of his own self. He denies. Moreover, if the mind stuff is to be another, then he denies the experience of his own self. How does the idea I, in such expressions as I am touching what I have seen, and I am seeing what I have touched, inhere in one common substrate of ideas, if all the ideas have nothing in common? How could the idea, I am this undivided self, which has a single idea, I, as its object? I hate that. How could the idea, I am this undivided self, which has a single idea as its object and which persists in absolutely different mind stuffs, become hypostasized in one generic substrate of ideas? One more. How could the idea, I am this undivided self, which has a single idea as its object and which persists in absolutely different mind stuffs, become hypostasized? This is how I know people around me. If nobody's around me, I could say it. How could the idea, I am this undivided self, which has a single idea as its object and which persists in absolutely different mind stuffs, become hypostasized in one generic substrate of ideas? Hypostasized. One more. How could the idea, I am this undivided self, which has a single idea as its object and which persists in absolutely different mind stuffs, become hypostasized in one generic substrate of ideas? The idea, I am this undivided self, is knowable in one's own experience. Moreover, the authority of a perception is not overthrown by any other source of valid ideas, whereas any other source of valid ideas comes into use only by virtue of a perception. Consequently, the mind stuff is one, has many objects, and is stable. Okay. Reading one more translation. The translation is not that good. I mean, it's good, but it's not complete. Okay, here we go. Now these distractions, the opponents of spiritual absorption, are to be restrained simply by these two means, practice and non-attachment. There he, in concluding the subject of practice, says, for their prevention, the practice of one truth. For the prevention of the distractions, let him habituate his mind to be dependent upon one truth. However, in the case of him who asserts that the mind is fixed to every object, and is a mere conception and momentary, then all his mind is one-pointed only. There will be no distracted mind at all. If, on the other hand, it being drawn away from all sides, is concentrated on one object, then it becomes one-pointed. Hence, it is not fixed to every object. Again, in the case of him who thinks the mind to be one-pointed, by a similar flow of ideas, if his one-pointedness be the characteristic of the flowing mind, that cannot be one owing to the momentariness of the flowing mind. If again it be the characteristic of the notion, which is a portion of the flow, then all that, whether flowing on similar notion or flowing on dissimilar notion, will be always one-pointed, on account of the fixity of the mind in every object. So there is no room for a distracted mind. Therefore the mind is one, possessed of many objects, and constant. If, however, the cognitions unconnected with one mind, I can't say one, it's alarming, I can't say one. If, however, the cognitions unconnected with one mind and separate by nature are born, how then can one be the rememberer of the cognition experienced by another? How can one be the consequent enjoyer of the vehicle of action accumulated by another cognition? If anyhow it be solved, it illustrates the logic of cow dung and milk. Moreover, on the variousness of the mind, the negation of one's own self-experience comes in. On the variousness of such cognitions as what I saw, I touch, what I touched, I see. How can the cognition I remain identical to the cognizer? Whoosh. Alright, I'm going to back up a little. On the variousness of such cognitions as what I saw, I touch, what I touched, I see. How can the cognition I remain identical in the cognizer? In the case of the entirely different minds, how can it exist in one common constant cognizer? Further, This cognition I, which is of the identical nature, is to be grasped by one's own perception. Moreover, the power of perception can never be defeated by any other means of real cognition. Right. Other means of real cognition, however, get their functions by the strength of perception alone. Therefore, the mind is one, possessed of many objects, and constant. Okay, moving on. Raga Veda next, thank you. Okay, Raga Veda, Book 5, Hymn 75. 9 shlokas. Pairing up. Om Namaste. Prati Puriyatamam Ratham Purushanam Pasuvahanam. Second try. Prati Puriyatamam Ratham Purushanam Pasuvahanam. Sutotang Pamashavina Boroshuiha Sutomena Prati Pushati Mathavi Mama Shrutam Havama. Okay, second try. Sutotang Pamashavina Boroshuiha Sutomena Prati Pushati Mathavi Mama Shrutam Havama. Last try. Sutotang Pamashavina Boroshuiha Sutomena Prati Pushati Mathavi Mama Shrutam Havama. Atyan Tamashavinang Tiro Vishavang Aham Sanang. Second try. Atyan Tamashavinang Tiro Vishavang Aham Sanang. Dasarang Iranuya Baltani Sushumunang Sinintuvang Hasang Mangatvi Mama Shrutam Havama. Second try. Dasarang Iranuya Baltani Sushumunang Sinintuvang Hasang Mangatvi Mama Shrutam Havama. Last try. Dasarang Iranuya Baltani Sushumunang Sinintuvang Hasang Mangatvi Mama Shrutam Havama. No Ratanani Viprata Vashavinang Gachachatam Yuvama. Second try. No Ratanani Viprata Vashavinang Gachachatam Yuvama. Rudrang Hiranuya Baltani Rushwa Bajeni Vasu Mathavi Mama Shrutam Havama. Moving on. Sushirtu Po Vam Purashanam Vasu Ratha Vanui Jiang Hitang. Second try. Sushirtu Po Vam Purashanam Vasu Ratha Vanui Jiang Hitang. Utang Pangam Kakuho Murugaha Prakoshaha Karunoti Pangapusho Mangatvi Mama Shrutam Havama. Second try. moving on actually. Yeah, moving on. One more. Utang pang kakuho murugaha burakushaha gurunoti vanga pusho manga tvi mama shurutam habama botina mana sanga ratie shuiranga habana shurutang. Second try. Botina mana sanga ratie shuiranga habana shurutang. Last one. Last try. Botina mana sanga ratie shuiranga habana shurutang. Bipishetya banga namashe vinanga ni yangato advayanga vinam ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Second try. Almost done, I think. Halfway. Vipishetya banga namashe vinanga ni yangato advayanga vinam ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Bangam naranga mano yujo shibanga saha burushwi tapas savaha burushwi tapas savaha. Second try. Bangam naranga mano yujo shibasanga. Bangam naranga mano yujo shibanga saha burushwi tapas savaha. Bayo bahanantu bi daya saha sumuna pirashivinanga ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Second try. Bayo bahanantu bi daya saha sumuna pirashivinanga ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Last try. Bayo bahanantu bi daya saha sumuna pirashivinanga ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Ashvina beha kachachatam na satyanga manga vi benatama. Second try. Ashvina beha kachachatam na satyanga manga vi benatama. Tirashichidariyam yang pari Baltiriyang tama da pyang ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Second try. Tirashichidariya yang pari Baltiriyang tamada pyang ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Last try. Tirashichidariya yang pari Baltiriyang tamada pyang ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Fourth try. Absolute last try. Tirashichidariya yang pari Baltiriyang tamada pyang ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Two more. Yeah. Asaminyajanya ada pyang jaritang aram shupasapati. Second try. Asaminyajanya ada pyang jaritang aram shupasapati. Avasyo mashavinang yuvam gurunanan tamupan pushato ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Second try. Avasyo mashavinang yuvam gurunanan tamupan pushato ma tvi mama shurutam habama. One more. Avasyo mashavinang yuvam gurunanan tamupan pushato ma tvi gurunanan tamupan. Okay. Avasyo mashavinang yuvam gurunanan tamupan pushato ma tvi mama shurutam habama. Mama shurutam habama. Moving on. Last shloka. It's 9. Yeah, 9. Apudushwa grushat pashurag nirata iyuru de biyaha. Second try. Ta yaru. Okay. Apudushwa Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yang Yar okay. Apudushwa Rushata Pashu Apudushwa Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yarat Vyaha Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yarat Vyaha Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yarat Vyaha Apudushwa Rushata Pashu Apudushwa Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yarat Vyaha Yang Yarat Vyaha okay. Apudushwa Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yarat Vyaha Apudushwa Rushata Pashuragni Ratha Yarat Vyaha. I'll take it. Okay, last sentence. Ayoji Bangam Boroshanam Basu Rato Dasara Bamaltio Ma Tevi Mama Shurutam Habama. Second try. Ayoji Bangam Boroshanam Basu Rato Dasara Bamaltio Ma Tevi Mama Shurutam Habama. Om Namaste. All right. Hymn 75. To meet your treasure-bringing car, the mighty car most dear to us. Ashevins, the rosary is prepared, your praiser, with his song of praise. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Pass, O ye Ashevins, pass away beyond all tribes of selfish men. Wonderful with your golden paths, most gracious bringers of the flood. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Come to us, O ye Ashevin pair, bringing your precious treasures, come. Ye Rudras, on your paths of gold rejoicing, rich in store of wealth, lovers of sweetness, hear my call. All strong and good, the voice of him who lodged you well cleaves to your car, and that great beast, your chariot steed, fair, wonderful, makes dainty food. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Watchful in spirit, borne on cars, impetuous, listening to his cry. Ashevins, with winged steeds, ye speed down to Javana, void of guile. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Hither, O heroes, let your steeds of dappled hue yoke at the thought. Your flying steeds, O Ashevins, bring you hitherward with bliss to drink. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. O Ashevins, hither come to us. Nasatyas, be not disinclined. Through longing for the pious, turn out of the way to reach our home. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Ye lords of splendor, free from guile, come, stand at this our sacrifice, beside the singer, Ashevins, who longs for your grace and laud you both. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Dawn with her white herd had appeared, and in due time hath fire been placed. Harnessed is your immortal car, O wonder workers, strong and kind. Lovers of sweetness, hear my call. Okay. Upanishad next, thank you. Okay. Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad. Second bodily, sixth Anuvankam. I shut up too much. Yes, through. 1 second. Alright, I found it. There you go. Gacha chati turu. The 3 for prolonging the vowel in the form. The young, is that what they mean? Okay. I'm gonna do like 2 versions of that, and there's another one. They put 3 in there. It's they're trying to say it's prolonging the vowel. Gacha chati. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to the world of Sanskrit. It was so much better 500 years, 2,500 years ago. It was so much better. Here we go. Na shakam, na shalom. Asa는 neva pavati. Asad brahmeti veda chat. Asati brahmeti chat vedam. One more. Asati brahmeti chat vedam. Sanantamenam tato viduriti. Tasyaisha evan shangarira atma yah pulvasyam. Atato nu prashanah. Atato nu prashanah. Uttam vidavanamum lokam pratyam. Kashachanam kashachana kachachati. So that's what they mean. Okay. I'll take that. I'm not gonna do through, because it says kashachana kachachati through. Kashachana kachachati through. And this says prolonging the vowel. Kashachana kachachati aho vidavanamum lokam pratyam. Kashachita samashinutam. Oh, okay, so that's another one. Kashachita samashinutam sokamayatam bahusyam prajayayati sa tapotapyatam sa tapotapyatam sa tapasatapatavam idam savamasurjatam yadidam kincham tatasarashatavam tadevanu pravishat tadevanu pravishat tadanu pravishyam sachacham tyachacham bhavat sachacham tyachacham bhavat. One more. Sachacham tyachacham bhavat nirukatam cham nilayanam cham. One more. Nilayanam cham vijñanam cham satyam naratam satyama bhavat yadidam kincham tata satyamitya chakushatem. One more. Tata satyamitya chakushatem Tadapiesha Shaloko Pavati Om Namasutta. That's it. Iti Shashatonu Bangakahe. I would like to read the whole thing at once, but I don't, I just don't have the time. Or the effort. I can't put on that much effort. Sixthanuvangakam. Non-existent himself does one become if he knows that Brahma is non-existent. If one knows that Brahma exists, such a one people thereby know as existent. This indeed is its bodily self, as of the former. Now, next, the appurtenant questions. Does anyone who knows not, undeceasing, go to yonder world? Or is it that anyone who knows, undeceasing, attains yonder world? He desired, would that I were many. Let me procreate myself. He performed austerity. Having performed austerity, he created this whole world, whatever there is here. Having created it, into it, indeed, he entered. Having entered it, he became both the actual and the yan, both the defined and the undefined, both the based and the non-based, both the conscious and the unconscious, both the real and the false. As the real, he becomes whatever there is here. That is what they call the real. As the real, he became whatever there is here. That is what they call the real. As to that, there is also this verse, and that's how they end. I'll see you next time. See you on the next episode of Daituti Upanishad, second Varali, seventh Anubanaka, in a few days. Okay, what am I doing? Next and last is Ramayana. Should be very easy. The Yoga Sutra today was the hardest. This takes forever to load. It's 700 gigabytes total combined. Almost 1 gigabyte of texts, Sanskrit. Scan the texts. Or is it? Here. Okay. All right, 2 minutes. This is the last one. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. Thank you. Might make some. No, I'll bring some water. 2-minute break. Thank you. Last one. Last reading. Ramayana next. Thank you. 2 minutes. And hopefully next time I'll have some better background instead of pitch black. Oh, I finished Balakananda. Wow. Okay, so starting today, it's no longer Balakananda. It's I still haven't taken my break yet. Okay, so it's Ayodhya Kananda, I think. Let me check here. 2:30. Yeah. Okay, so today is Ayodhya Kananda. So I'll change the title right now. Sorry, I'm trying to type it so far away from me. Tia. Ka. No. Dhamma. Da is fine. Okay. Ayokya, not tia. Sorry. Ayotya. Tia. Ayotya Kananda. Okay. Ramayana. Ayotya Kananda. I'm gonna write that in English. Oof, sorry. Switch. Ayodhya chapter? Saga? What is it? How do you say it in English? Ayodhya. Jesus Christ. Okay, give me 1 second here. This card and this. Okay, that's what I did. So, Ayodhya. Okay. It sounds short. That's why I wanted to add something else. Ayodhya. Book. A second book. Okay, chapter 1, page 233. That's for me. Okay, almost ready. But everything's loaded. Let me just get some water and I'll be okay. And I should bow. I'm gonna bow quickly because it's the start of the book. Namaste. Breaking everything just to bow. Okay, I'm good. Do I need water? Let me see how long this thing is. Oh, first chapters are usually really long, 51. Okay, it's not too bad. It's gonna be a 40-minute reading from me. Ramayana is easy for me to read. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but it's the easiest. Right next to Mahabharata. Okay. Ayodhya 가는 다음에 Pratamaha Saigaha. No, Shakam. No, Shalom. It's too big. Okay. Gacha chatang ma tulakulam paratenam dadanakaha. Second try. Gacha chatang ma tulakulam paratena dadanakaha. Last try. Gacha chatang ma tulakulam paratena dadanakaha. Shaturukno nitya shaturukno nitaha priti pura sukurtaha. Second try. Shaturukno nitya shaturukno nitaha priti pura sukurtaha. Sam tatra nyavasad prangadrang saha satakara satakurtaha. Ma tulena shivapatinang putrasnehenam lalitaha. Okay, one more. Ma tulena shivapatinang putrasnehenam lalitaha. Tatrang api divasanan tau talpyamano jang kamataha. Pratarao Samaratam, Birao, Buddhatam, Dasharatam, Nirupama. Rangjang Pi Tao, Mahatejang He, Dasamara, Boroshuitao, Sutao, Upao, Parata Shaturukunao, Mahenandra Varunua, Pampamao. Second sentence, second try. Upao, Parata Shaturukunao, Mahenandra Varunua, Mahenandra Varunua Pamao. Last try. Upao, Parata Shaturukunao, Mahenandra Varunua Pamao. Saivan Evan Tu Dasia Shurta Shachatavan Raha Purusha Shapan. Second try. Saivan Evan Tu Dasia Shurta Shachatavan Raha Purusha Shapan. Subashari Rand Bine Buratan Shachatavan Ra Ivan Bang Havaha. Second try. Subashari Rand Bine Buratan Shachat. That was not human messing with me. Welcome to the world of Sanskrit where crazy things may happen or not. Box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. Subashari Rand Bine Buratan Shachatavang Ra Ivan Bang Havaha. Okay. Desho Mapi Mahatejang Ramo Ratikaraha Pituha. Svayam Puriva Putanam Papuva Gunavataraha. Sang Hi Devairudil Nasyam Ravanasya Vadhaltipiha. Second try. Sang Hi Devairudil Nasyam Ravanasya Vadhaltipiha. Tipiha. Yeah. Last try. Sang Hi Devairudil Nasya Ravanasya Vadhaltipiha. Atiltom Altitom Manushwe Loke Jajinye Vishnuha Sanatanaha. Second try. Altitom Manushwe Loke Jajinye Vishnuha Sanatanaha. Kausalyang Shushupe Tena Putreno Mita Tejasang. Second try. Kausalyang Shushupe Tena Putreno Mita Tejasang. Putreno Mita Tejasang. Last try. Kausalyang Shushupe Tena Putreno Mita Tejasang. Yatang Parena Devana Matitil Vajra Panuinang. Second try. Wires. Okay. There we go. Where was I? A second try. Yatang Parena Devana Maditil Vajra Panuinang. Devana Maditil Vajra Panuinang. Okay, last try. Yatang Parena Devana Maditil Vajra. Yatang Parena Devana Maditil Vajra Panuinang. Sa Hi Rupa Papanana Shicham Rupa Papanana Shicham Pirya Panana Suyakaha. Second try. Sa Hi Rupa Panana Sa Hi Rupa Panana Papanan Sa Hi Rupa Papanana Shicham Pirya Panana Suyakaha. One more. Sa Hi Rupa Papanana Shicham Pirya Panana Suyakaha. Moving on. Puma Vanu Pamaha Sunul Kunul Dasharatopamaha. Second try. Puma Vanupamaha 수놀구노일 다샤라토빠마흐. Last try. 부마바누빠마 부마바누빠마흐 수놀구노일 다샴 부마바누빠마흐 수놀구노일 다샤라토빠마흐. Alright, Shoka 10, 20% done. Sanjam Nityam Prashanantang Atamanga Murudupulvam Jam Pashatem. Second try. Sanjam Nityam Prashanantang Atamanga Murudupulvam Jam Pashatem. Murudupulvam. Last try. Sanjam Nityam Prashanantang Atamanga Murudupulvam Jam Pashatem. Uchyamanopi Purusham Notutaram Pratipadyatem. Second try. Uchyamanopi Purusham Notutaram Pratipadyatem. Okay. Katangachidupakarena Kurutenaikenam Tushyati. Second try. Katangachidupakan. I shouldn't try it again. Such an ancient text that you cannot say it again. Well, I'm gonna do it this time, and I won't do it if I get it right. Katangachidupakan arena kurutenaikena tushyati na smaratiapakaranam shatamapyat mavatayang. Second try. Na smaratiapakaranam shatamapyat mavatayang shatamapyat mavatayang. Last try. Na smaratiapakaranam shatamapyat mavatayang. Shila Burudatai Jinyana Burudatai Vayo Burudatai Shichang Sajujanaiha. Second try. Shila Burudatai Jinyana Burudatai Vayo Burudatai Shichang Sajujanaiha. One more. Shila Burudatai Jinyana Burudatai Vayo. Shila Burudatai Jinyana Burudatai Vayo Burudatai Shichang Sajujanaiha. One more. Shila Burudatai Jinyana Burudatai Vayo Burudatai Shichang Sajujanaiha. Katayananang Satang Pai Nityamasatra Yogiyang Nityamasatra Yogiyang Tarashivapi. Second try. Katayananang Satang Pai Nityamasatra Yogiyang Tarashivapi. Last try. Katayananang Satang Pai Nityamasatra Yogiyang Tarashivapi. Buddhatimana Mathura Pashwi Pulva Pashwi Puriyambadaha. Second try. Buddhatimana Mathura Pashwi Pulva Pashwi Puriyambadaha. Last try. Buddhatimana Mathura Pashwi Pulva Pashwi Puriyambadaha. Viryavanana Jang Viryana Mahatang Sivana Vismitaha. Nang Jang Nurutakatom Viduvana Nurutanang Pratipujakaha. Second try. Nang Jang Nurutakatom Viduvana Nurutanang Pratipujakaha. Last try. Na Janurutakato Viduvana Burudatanganam Pratipujakaha. Anurakataha Praja Pishichang Praja Shichang Pianurajatem. Second try. Anurakataha Praja Pishichang Praja Shichang Pian. Anurakataha Praja Pishichang Praja Shichang Pianurajatem. Praja Shichang Pianurajatem. Last try. Anurakataha Praja Pishichang Praja Shichang Pianurajatem. Sanukroshom Chitakrotom Brahmana Pratipujakaha. Second try. Sanukrosho Jitakroto Brahmana Pratipujakaha. Last try. Sanukrosho Jitakroto Brahmana Pratipujakaha. Brahmana. Dinanukamampi Taimajinyo Nityam Pragrahavangana Shuchiha. I could take that. I want to say it again. Dinanukamampi Taimajinyo Nityam Pragrahavangana Shuchiha. Kulo Chitamatiha Kushwataram Savataimam Bahu Matyatem Maniatem. Second try. Kulo Chitamatiha Kushwataram Savataimam Bahu Maniatem. Last try. Kulo Chitamatiha Kushwataram Savataimam Bahu Maniatem. Maniate Parayang Pridiyang Mahat Svagapalam Tataha. Na Shreyasi Rato Yashicha Na Nirudata Katanga Ruchiha Nirudata Katanga Ruchiha Nirudata Katanga Ruchiha. Second try. 17. 51 I believe is the last one. Third way there. Na Shreyasi Rato Yashicha Na Virudhutakatha Ruchiha. Last try. Na Shreyasi Rato Yashicha Na Virudhutakatha Ruchiha. Uttatarotara Yugati Nang Bhagatang Pachasapatiriyatang. Second try. Uttatarotara Yugati Nang Uttatarotara Yugati Nang Bhagatang Pachasapatiriyatang. Last try. Uttatarotara Yugati Nang Bhagatang Pachasapatiriyatang. Arogasataruno Pagami Paposhimana Dashaka Labit. Second try. Arogasataruno Pagami Paposhimana Dashaka Labit. Lokem Purusha Sarajinyaha Satureko Vinilmitaha. Second try. Lokem Purusha Sa Lokem Purusha Sarajinyaha Satureko Vinilmitaha. Okay, moving on. Yeah, one more. Third, last try anyway. Lokem Purusha Sarajinyaha Lokem Purusha Sarajinyaha Satureko Vinilmitaha. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryokutaha Prajangnam Pativangatamajaha. Second try. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryu. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryok. Shirashatal Gunoi Ryokutaha Prajangnam Pativangatamajaha. Last try. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryokutaha. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryokutaha. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi. Sang tu Shirashatal Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryokutaha Prajangnam Pativangatamajaha. One more. Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Sang tu Shirashatal Gunoi Ryokutaha Prajangnam Pativangatamajaha. Moving on. Pahishajaram Ivan Pranoa Papuva Gunataha Puriyaha. Saiva Vidyam Varatasanato Yathavat Sanganga Vedavit. One more. Saiva Vidyam Varatasanato Yathavat Sanganga Vedavit. Ishivasatra Jan Pituha Shershutva Papuva Paratangaraja. Second try. Ishivastre Chan Pituha Shereshatva Bapuvan Paratangagrajaha. Last try. Ishivastre Chan Pituha Shereshatva Bapuvan Paratangagrajaha. Kalyana Pijanaha Saturadinaha Satyabhagarujuha. Second try. Kalyana Pijanaha Saturadinaha Satyabhagarujuha. Last try. Kalyana Pijanaha Saturadinaha Satyabhagarujuha. Fourth try. Kalyana Pijanaha Saturadinaha Satyabhagarujuha. Bodhidharma Pivini Dashijang Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. Okay. Second try. Bodhidharma Pivini Dashijang Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. Bodhidharma Talmalta Daishipiha. Bodhidharma Talmalta Daishipiha. Okay. Last try. Bodhidharma Pivini Dashijang Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. Fourth try. Bodhidharma Pivini Dashijang Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. Fifth try. Bodhidharma Pivini Dashijang Divijay Talmalta Daishipiha. I'll take it. Talmakammalta Tatatavajinyaha Samuratimana Pratipanavana. Second try. Talmakammalta Tatatavajinyaha Samuratimana Pratipanavana. Last try. I might need some more after this shloka. 22 right now. Talmakammalta Tatatavajinyaha Samuratimana Pratipanavana. Fourth try. Talmakammalta Tatatavajinyaha Samuratimana Pratipanavana. Laukikam Samayajare Gurutakalpo Visharadaha. Second try. Laukikam Samayajare Gurutakalpo Visharadaha. Last try. Laukikam Samayajare Gurutakalpo Visharadaha. Nipurutaha Samburatangakaro Subutamanantaraha Sahayavana. Amukhakurota Harshashacham Dyaga Samya Makalabit. Second try. Amukhakurota Harshashacham Dyaga Samya Makalabit. Amukhakurota Harshashacham Dyaga Samya Makalabit. Last try. Amukhakurota Harshashacham Dyaga Samya Makalabit. Getting a little tired. I should take a break. But it's so easy. Durutva Bhakatiha Satira Prajinyo Na Sadgrahi Na Dulbachaha. Durutva Bhakatiha Satira Prajinyo Na Sadgrahi Na Dulbachaha. Last try. Durutva Bhakatiha Satira Prajinyo Na Sadgrahi Na Durvachaha. Disutaran Trira Pramata Tashacham Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Disutanandari Disutanandari Pramata Tashacham Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Last try. Disutanandari Pramata Tashacham Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Sevadosha Paradosha. Fourth try. Last, absolute last try. Disutanandrira Prama Disutanandrira Paramata Tashit Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang. I need water. Okay, so after this shloka, it's 24 right now. I'm gonna take a little break. I should make some coffee. I'm gonna make some coffee and then finish it up. It shouldn't be that long. Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. That looks like an Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. One more. Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Oh, come on. Disutanandrira Paramata Tashichang Sevadosha Paradosha Vitta. Okay, so I am gonna take a break. I have to make some coffee. Nicotine goes so well with coffee. I pair them if I can. Okay, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Thank you. 3 minutes, and I'll finish up. I need something. Okay, still taking a break. Hey! I'm gonna stab myself with my own weapon. Imagine that. That happens. Not that happens to humans. I am not human. Can you find humans who could read that the right way? I dare you. I'll give you $1. I don't have that much money. Sorry. Oh yeah. In this. Okay, give me 1 second. So if you were Indian before in this, your past, immediate past life, you were an Indian, and you learned the Sanskrit, all that stuff. Guess what? You have to use cannabis in order to, I don't want to say channel. In order to grasp the knowledge you had before, you need cannabis. I'll tell you the reason in a second. When one dies, there are pains associated with death, and some things become too painful to even go near. Like this stuff right here, without cannabis, I've actually done most of the session without cannabis today. It's really, really hard. Why? Because I'm constantly faced with the pain from the death from 47 years ago, 48 years ago. I'm 47 years old. So in order to remember the things you did in your past life, you will require, I'm not even gonna say you will require something like cannabis. You have to stop the pain. Even if you don't remember the pain from the death you've experienced, before you were born in this body, the soul remembers. So you can't even get near it. That's why I use cannabis for lots of different. Cannabis is a pain suppressant at the very least. It does many other things, but well, cannabis, when used correctly, will get rid of a lot of inhibitions and fear. Kind of like drinking, but in a different way. You could still think. You could, logic is still intact when you're using cannabis. I'll tell you something else about the Hare Krishna mantra. The Hare Krishna mantra prefers nothing else to be used. It runs away from alcohol. It is it's not 100% tolerant of cannabis, but the Hare Krishna mantra, or Tulasi is a goddess, Tulsi in English. If she knows the reason why you're using it, she will let you. Why? All gods are sentient. They're not yes and no. What's the biggest problem with the world right now? It's communication. Nobody knows how to communicate, so they're using fists. This helps you communicate. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of pain. All I'm looking at is like pain, death, pain, death, pain, death, pain. Pains I have no idea what that was. It's dormant. Okay, there's not much in there, but I have to use it. Here we go. Na shakam, na shalom. Sha sutra chinyasa cham, karata chinyasa cham, Purushanantara Kovidaha. Second try. Shansatara Jinyashacham. Shansatara Jinyashacham. Kurata Jinyashacham. Purushanantara Kovidaha. Tara. Purushanantara Kovidaha. Last try. Halfway through. Shansatara Jinyashacham. Kurata Jinyashacham. Purushanantara Kovidaha. Yaha. Pragrahanugura Yoriyatanyayam Pichakushonaha. Second try. Yaha. Pragrahanugura Yoriyan Hayom. Yaha. Pragrahanugura Hayoriyatanyayam Pichakushonaha. Last try. Yaha. Pragrahanugura Hayoriyatanyayam Pichakushonaha. Fourth try. Absolute last try. Yaha. Pragrahanugura Hayoriyatanyayam Pichakushonaha. Satasamgrahanugrahanuem Satana Binanigrahasyancham. That was correct. I want to say it again. Second try. Satasamgrahanugrahanuem Satana Binanigrahasyancham. Ayakalma Nuyupanga Yajinyaha Samdura Shertavya Yakalma Bit. Second try. Ayakalma Nuyupanga Yajinyaha Samdura Shertavya Yakalma Bit. Last try. Ayakalma Nuyupaya Ayakalma Nuyupanga Yajinyaha Samdura Shertavya Yakalma Bit. Ayakalma Nuyupanga Yajinyaha Samdura Shertavya Yakalma Bit. Shireshatoyam Jansutra Samu Heshwa Praputo Vyam Mishrakeshu Jang. Beautiful. Okay, second try. Shireshatoyam Jansutra Samu Heshwa Praputo Vyam Mishrakeshu Jang. Ataltaimao Altatalmao Jam Samgorohiam Sukatanantrao. Na Jang Lasaha. Tanantro. Okay, Sukatanantro na Jang Lasaha. Second try. Altatalmao Jam Samgorohiam Sukatanantro na Jang Lasaha. Last try. Altatalmao Jam Samgorohiam Sukatanantro na Jang Lasaha. Did I skip something? No, I'm good. 28, sorry. 28. Paiharikanam Shiripanam Bijinyangatalta Vipagavita. Second try. Paiharikanam Shiripanam Bijinyangatalta Vipagavita. Arohe Vinaya Chaiva Yukuto Paranavajinam. Arohe Vinaya Chaiva Yukuto Paranavajinam. Tanul Bedavidam Shereshutwa Loketira Ta Samamataha. Second try. Tanul Bedavidam Shereshutwa Loketira Ta Samamataha. Loketira Ta Samamataha. Last try. Tanul Bedavidam Shereshutwa Loketira Ta Samamataha. Apiyang tang prahaltang cha senaya bisharadaha. Second try. Apiyang tang prahaltang cha senaya bisharadaha. Last try. Apiyang tang prahaltang cha senaya Senanaya Visharadaha. Distracted. Absolute last try, fourth try. Apiyang tang prahaltang jang senayana Visharadaha. Senanaya Visharadaha. Apiyang tang prahaltang jang senanaya Visharadaha. Cool. Aparatrushyashacham samgurame guru tairapi suraiha. Second try. Aparat coffee. Aparatrushyashacham Aparatrushyashacham samgurame guru tairapi suraiha. Anasuyo jitakroto na Diraputo na chan matasari. This is fuzzy. I have to double check that. Diraputo, I think 95% sure it's not enough. 30 Diraputo, yep, okay. Second try. Anasuyo jitakroto na Anasuyo jitakroto na Diraputo na chan matasari. Na bhajinya yashichan putanam na chan kalabasha nugaha. Oh, second try. Na bhajinya yashichan putanam na chan kalabasha nugaha. Kalabasha nugaha. Moving on. Evam Shereshtel Gunairi Yukataha Prajanam Bhativat Majaha. One more. Evam Shereshtel Gunairi Yukataha Prajanam Bhativat Majaha. Samumatasatrishwa Lokeshwa Vasutayaha Goshamanga Gunoiha. Buddha Tiang Burahasapate Tuliang Burahasapate Tulio Piria Jangapi Shachi Pateha. Second try. Buddha Tiang Burahasapate Tulio Piria Jangapi Shachi Patiha. Last try. Buddha Tiang Burahasapate Tulio Piria Jangapi Chachi pateha. 51, I believe is the last one. Tatang Saiva Prajang Kanantaha Taiha. Tatang Saiva Prajang Kanantaiha Puriti Samja Nanaiha Pituha. Second try. Tatang Saiva Prajang Kanantaiha Puriti Samja Nanaiha Pituha. Puriti Samjananaiha Pituha. Last try. Tatang Saiva Prajang Kanantaiha Puriti Samjananaiha Pituha. Gunoi Viruruchem Ramo Dipataha Surya Ivam Shupiha. Dame Bambura Tuta Samanpanama Pratrushuya Paragramama. Second try. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanana Dame Bamburuta Masamanpanama Pratrushuya Paragramama. Last try. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanana. Okay. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama Pratrushuya Paragramama. One more. Pratrushuya. Dame Bamburuta Masamanpanama Nama. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama Pratrushuya Paragramama. One more. That was correct. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama Pratrushuya. Dame Bamburuta Samanpanama. Oh, come on. Samevan Purutata Samampanan Nama. Damevan Purutata Samampanan Nama Trushvuya Parankramamu. One more. Damevan Purutata Samampanan Nama. Damevan Purutata Samampanan Nama Parakru. Damevan Purutata. Oh, I'm being distracted. Somebody is talking behind. Maybe in the street somewhere about this. It affects me when people talk about me in my vicinity. I know it while I'm doing it, especially while I'm doing it. I can't say anything about it because they'll pick fights with me. I don't want to fight anybody, but people want to fight me. What am I supposed to do? Here we go. Damevan Purututam Samanpananapam Damevan Purututa Samanpananama Parapuru Damevan Purututa Samanpananama Paratrushuya Parakramama. I could take that. You haven't heard that in at least 500 years. Damevan Purututa Samanpananama Damevan Purututa Samanpananama Paratrushuya Parakramama. One more. Damevan Purutata Mamam Damevan Purutata Samampanan Nama Paratrushuya Parakramama. I'll take it. Lokana Topamam Na Tamaka Mayata Medini. Second try. 34. Only 15 away. Yay. Lokana Topamam Na Tameka Mayata Medini. Lokana Topamam Na Tamaka Mayata Medini. Moving on. Etan isitu bahu piru kutam kunoirang nupamaiha sutama. Second try. Etan isitu bahu piru kutam kunoira nupamaiha kunoira nupamaiha sutama. One more. Last try. Etan isitu bahu piru kutam kunoira nupamaiha sutama. Absolute last try. Fourth try. Etan isitu bahu piru kutam kunoira nupamai. Etan isitu bahu piru kutam kunoira nupamaiha sutama. One more. Etan isitu bahu piru kutam kunoira nupamaiha sutama. Yeah. Bereshatu bang tasharato bang jang chakre jenantang param tapaha. Atha Rangajinyo Papu Vaivan Burudutasyan Jiraji Binaha. One more. Atha Rangajinyo Papu Vaivan Burudutasyan Jiraji Binaha. Puritire Shwa Katam Rangamo Rangjang Syanamai Jivati. Second try. Puritire Shwa Katam Rangamo Rangjang Syanamai Jivati. Efwa Hyasyan Parang Purite Huradi Samampari Baitatem. Second try. Efwa Hyasyan Parang Purite Huradi Samampari Baitatem. Katang Nama Sutam Drakushvoya Mia Pishwikutama Ham Priyama. Second try. Katang Nama Sutam Drakushvoya Mia Pishwikutama Ham Priyama. Last try. Katang Nama Sutam Drakushvoya Mia Pishwikutama Ham Priyama. Purudutikamo Hi Lokasyan Savaputa Nukamampakaha. Matataha Puriyataro Loke Pajanian Ivan Purushatuimana. Purushatuimana. I want to do it once more. Matataha Puriyataro Loke Pajanian Ivan Purushatuimana. 39. Yeah. 10 away. 12 away. Yamashakura Samo Birye Burahasapati Samo Matao. Second try. Yamashakura Samo Birye Burahasapati Samo Matao. Mahi tarasamo prutiam matatashicham gunabatataraha. Second try. Mahi tarasamo prusyam Mahi tarasamo trutiam matatashicham gunabatataraha. Okay. This text is 1.5 million years old. 1.5 million years old. Asians were called Vanaras and they had tails. And if you know anything about evolution, some humans I would say, not all humans had tails. Some humans had tails 1.5 million years ago. This is also according to the theory of Darwin as well. It goes along hand in hand. It's not opposing it. Yeah, the text is 1.5 million years old. If it sounds funny, it is. 1.5 million year old is basically listening to a dinosaur barking. That's what you're listening to. You're listening to a dinosaur barking. Or a dinosaur growling. Okay. I just want to. I'm at 40 right now. 40. Is it 50 or 51? 51. The last two shlokas are always longer. Okay. Mahi Mahamimam, or for Ramayana. Mahi Mahamimam Gurudusana Matitishirtanan Tamatamajama. Second try. Mahi Mahamimam Gurudusana Matitishirtanan Tamatamajama. Last try. Mahi Mahamimam Gurudusana Matitishirtanan Tamatamajama. Anena Vayasang Durashirtavang Yatang Savagama Punuyam Ityevam Vivitai Pal Tiva Dula Paiha. Second try. Ityevam Vivitai Pal Tiva Dula Paiha. Almost Dula Paiha. Wow. Ityevam Vivitai Pal Tiva Dula Paiha. Fourth try. Dula Paiha, Tiva Dula Paiha. Ityevam Vivitai Ityevam Vivitai. Oh, come on. I'm distracted. Ityevam Vivitai Raniapang Tivam. Ityevam Vivitai Raniapang. Ityevam Vivitai Raniapang Tiva Dula Paiha. Close. Fifth try. I won't go over sixth. Could be a dog. There's a dog. Maybe. Animals love Sanskrit. I don't know what it is. Animals just like, they're all like, oh my god, you're speaking my language in another language. Okay, here we go. Ityevam Vivitai Raniapang Tiva Dula Paiha. I'll take it. Shishitoira Parimeya Ishichang Loke Lokotatara Ilgunoiha. Tam Sami Kushuya Tadang Rangjang Yukatam Samudita Ilgunoiha. Vishichitiam Sachivaiha Sangaltam Yavarajyamamaniatam. Second try. Vishichitiam Sachivaiha Vishichitiam Sachivaiha Sangaltam Yavarajyamamaniatam. Last try. Vishichitiam Sachivaiha Sangaltam Yavarajyamamaniatam. Divyanantarikuswe Pu Mao Chang Koramutapang Tajam Payama. Second try. Divyanantarikuswe Pu Mao Chang Koramutapang Jatam Tajam. Sorry. Divyanantarikuswe Pu Mao Chang Koramutapang Tajam. Divyanantarikuswe Pumel jam, Koramutupang tajam, payama. Wow. Nobody has said that in like 500 years. Divyana tari kushwe, Pumel jam, Koramutupang tajam, payama. One more. I want to solidify it. It's still in some liquid form. It's not. It's gonna go away. I have to say it once more and I'll stick forever and ever. Divyana tari kushwe, Pumel jam, Koramutupang tajam, payama. Yep. Samcha chakushwata, Metabi, Sharire, Jatamano, Charama. Second try. Samcha chakushwatam, Metabi, Sharire, Jatamano, Charama. Bulno Janandra, Nanasyatam, Shoka, Banu, Damatamanaha. Second try. 44. 8 away. Yay. Bulno Janandra, Nanasyatam, Shoka, Banu, Damatamaja, Shoka, Banu, Damatamaja. Last try. Bulno Janandra, Nanasyatam, Shoka, Shoka, Banu, Damatamaja. Bulno Janandra, Nanasyatam, Shoka, Banu, Damatamaja. One more. Bulno Janandra, Nanasyatam, Shoka, Banu, Damatamaja. Lokem, Ramasya, Bubute, Samampuriyatavam, Mahatmanaha. Atmanashacham, Prajanam, Jan, Shreyasam, Jan, Puriyano, Jan. One more. Atmanashacham, Prajanam, Jan, Shreyasa, Jan, Puriyano, Jan. Prabhute, Gale, Sa, Taimatama, Pakatiyan, Devaritavana, Nirpaha. Nana Nagara Vasatavyana, Protagajana Padanapi. Second try. Nana Nagara Vasatavyana, Protagajana Padanapi. One more. I got it right, I think. Nana Nagara Vasatavyana, Protagajana Padanapi. Yeah. Samaninaya, Medinyam, Prathanam, Prativi Patiha. One more. Samaninaya, Medinyam, Prathanam, Prativi Patiha. Prativi Patiha. Moving on. Okay, God wants me to say it again. Why? Samaninaya, Medinyam, Prathanam, Prativi Patiha. Okay. Dana Veshimanana Paranoidia Taiham Pratipujitana. Second try. Dana Veshimanana Paranoidia Taiham Pratipujitana. Last try. Dana Veshimanana Paranoidia Taiham Pratipujitana. One more. Dana Veshimanana Paranoidia Taiham Pratipujitana. Taiham. Dana Veshimanana Paranoidia Taiham Pratipujitana. Tadaishala Kurutum. Tadaishalam Kuruto Rangjang Prajapatirivam Prajang. Second try. Tadaishalam Tadaishai Lam Kurutum Rangjang Prajang Patirivam Prajang. That one terrible. That one I can't even speak. I don't know what's going on. Stop being distracted self. Withstand the distraction somehow. And King Yaosha, Jesus' real name, and King Yaosha's name, Āmēn, please. Good news is I'm at 47, only about 5 away, or sure. Tadaisha Lam Kurutum Rangjang Prajapatirivam Prajang. Na tu Kekapaha Naratipaha. One more. na tu kekayara janam janakam pang naratipah tubarayam janayamasa pashijantatang shereshuyotah priyama atopa bishadue due atopa bishadue Diropatão Tassamina Parapural Dane. Okay. Second try. 49. Yeah. Almost done. Atopa Bishadue Diropatão Tassamina Parapural Dane. Last try. Atopa Bishadue Diropatão Tassamina Parapural Dane. Tataha Parabibishuha Shefua Rangjano Lokasama Matanga. One more. Second try. Tataha Prabibishuha Sheshwa Rangjano Lokasama Matanga. Okay. Two more. So the last one is always longer. Atam Raja Bitil Nueshu Bibiteshu Vangasaneshu Jang. Second try. Atam Raja Bitil Nueshu Bibiteshu Vangasaneshu Jang. Raja Bitil Nueshu. Okay, last try. Atam Raja Bitil Nueshu Bibiteshu Vangasaneshu Jang. Raja Nameva Pimukang. Nishwe Dulni Yatang Nirpang. Second try. Raja Nameva Pipu. Raja Nameva Pimukang. Nishwe Dulni Yatang. Nishwe Dulni Yatang Nirpang. Last try. Raja Nameva Pimukang. Nishwe Dulni Yatang Nirpang. Fourth try, absolute last try. Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulni Yatang Nirpang. One more. Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulni Yatang Nirpang. I think it's fifth try. Two more and then I'm done. Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulniyatang Nirpang. Absolute sixth try. I call it the Satan try. Satanic try. No. Satan try. It's not even satanic, it's a Satan try. Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulni Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulniyatang Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulniyatang Nirpang. Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulniyatang Nirpang. Raja Nameva Pimukang Nishwe Dulniyatang Nirpang. Okay, I'll take it. Last shloka. Sa labatamanai binayan bitai nirpaiha purala yaljana padaisha manavaiha. Second try. Sa labatamanai binayan bitai nirpaiha labatamanai binayan bitai nirpaiha purala yaljana padaisha manavaiha. Last try. Sa labatamanai binayan bitai nirpaiha. Sa labatamanai binayan bitai nirpaiha purala yaljana padaisha manavaiha. One more. Fourth try. Three more and I can't. Sa labatamanai binayan bitai nirpaiha. So 3. Labutamanai binayana bitai nurupai. Sa labutamanai binayana bitai nurupai puralaya yajana padaishicham. Sa labutamanai binayana bitai nurupai puralaya yajana padaishicham manabai. Almost. One more. Last, I think it's the 5th one or 6th one. 2 more. Sam Labutamanai binayana bitai nurup. Sa Labutamanai binayana bitai nurupai puralaya jana padaishicha manabai. I'll take it. One more. Sa Labutamanai binayana bitai nurupai puralaya jana padaishicha manabai. Last sentence. Upopa vishidai nurupati burutum vapau sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. Second try. Upopa vishidai nurupati burutum vapau sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. Sahasra chakushri bhagavani nibai. Sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. Sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. Sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. Last try. Upopavishita nirupati brutum papau sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. I got that right. I'm gonna say it one more time. A little tired. Upopavishita nirupati brutum papau sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. One more. Upopavishita nirupati brutum papau sahasra chakushri bhagavani bamarai. Okay. Namaste. That's it. Ityanshwem Shrimad Ramayana Paramikiya Adikavya Yotyakanandwem Pratamaha Sagaha Adikavya Yotyakanandwem Pratamaha Sagaha. Okay. So if you came by to listen to Sanskrit only, I am not gonna read any more Sanskrit. I'm just gonna read this translation and I'm done. Tired. Okay, so Shrimad Varamiki Ramayana Book 2, Ayodhyakananda, Canto 1. The sinless Shatrukna, the destroyer of the lasting enemies, was taken away on that occasion by Bharata while the latter was proceeding to his maternal uncle's home, full of affection as he was. Entertained with hospitality by his maternal uncle, an owner of horses, and fondled with I can't say anything right now. I think I ran out of cannabis. That's what it is. Okay. Entertained with hospitality by his maternal uncle, an owner of horses, and fondled with parental affection, he tarried there with his brother. I'm gonna read that again. Entertained with hospitality by his maternal uncle, an owner of horses, and fondled with parental. Entertained with hospitality by his maternal uncle, an owner. Entertained with hospitality by his maternal uncle, an owner of horses, and fondled with parental affection, he tarried there with his brother. Continuing there, and even though being gratified with desired objects, the two gallant brothers thought of their aged father, King Dasharatha. The highly glorious emperor too remembered both his aforesaid sons, Bharata and Shatrukna, who vied with the mighty Inandra and Varuna, and were away from their home. All the 4 princes, who were veritable jewels among men, were equally dear to him, like 4 arms sprung from one's own person. Of them, However, the highly glorious Sri Rama afforded delight to him and was more richly endowed with excellences as Brahma is among created beings. For, entreated by the gods, seeking the destruction of the haughty Ravana, the eternal Lord Vishnu was born on the mortal plane as Sri Rama. I'll read it again. They underlined it. Somebody didn't know what buying means. For, entreated by the gods, seeking the destruction of the haughty Ravana, the eternal Lord Vishnu was born on the mortal plane as Sri Rama. Queen Kausaliyan shone with that sun, possessed of infinite glory, as Aditi did with Inandra, the foremost of gods. He was indeed possessed of physical charm, full of valor and free from censoriousness. He was incomparable on earth as a sun, and was a replica of Dasharatha in point of virtues. He was ever tranquil of mind, and spoke softly without being accosted. Nay, he did not retort even though spoken harshly to. He felt gratified with a single good turn casually rendered, and did not take to heart 100 wrongs because of his mastery over his self. He ever used to converse only with pious men senior to him in point of moral worth, enlightenment, and age, even at times of respite from his training in the use of missiles. He was talented and suave of speech, took the initiative in speaking, affable and valiant, yet not elated with his extraordinary prowess. I can't say extraordinary. My injury is like acting up. That's why I use cannabis, to suppress my injuries so I could say. I can't say like 80% of what I used to say, unless I use cannabis. He was talented and suave of speech, took the initiative in speaking, affable and valiant, yet not elated with his extraordinary prowess. He never told a lie, was learned and a respecter of his elders, nay, was loved by the people and also loved the people. Sorry, somebody just, I don't know what happened, went thud, something just went thud. Okay. He never told a lie, was learned and a respecter of his elders, nay, was loved by the people and also loved the people. He was full of compassion, had conquered anger, was a votary of the Brahmanas, commiserated the miserable, knew what is right, always exercised self-control, and practiced purity. With his mind intent on what was worthy of his race, he made much of his duty as a Kshatriyan, and with great fondness regarded heaven as the eminent reward following from it. He never took delight in an act which was not conducive to blessedness, had no relish for profane talks, and, like the sage Brihaspati, advanced arguments and counter-arguments. Advanced, so this is a verb, sorry. He never took advanced argument, okay. He was free from diseases, youthful, eloquent, and possessed of a robust body, and knew the place and time. He was the only pious soul evolved in the world who could know the worth of every individual. Endowed with superb qualities, the aforesaid prince actually grew to be the favorite of the people by virtue of his excellences, and was like their life moving outside. One more. Endowed with superb qualities, the aforesaid endowed with superb qualities. Sorry. Endowed with superb qualities, endowed with superb qualities, the aforesaid prince actually grew to be the favorite of the people by virtue of his excellences, and was like their life moving outside. Sri Rama had mastered all sciences, and concluded all sacred vows, had duly studied the Vedas, including the branches of knowledge, auxiliary to them, and proved superior to his father, in archery, as well as in the use of missiles propelled by force of mystic spells. A source of blessings, beneficent, undepressed, truthful of speech and guileless, he had been instructed all round by elderly Brahmanas, possessing insight into the moral principles and secular interests. He knew the truth about the principles of righteousness, material enjoyment, and prosperity. Prosperity. He knew the truth about the principles of righteousness. Material enjoyment and prosperity, was possessed of a keen memory and perspicacious. He had acquired proficiency in the discharge of his secular duties and was well versed in the Vedic rites. He was modest and kept his feelings concealed, and his deliberations secret, and attracted followers. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. I hate it when they put these words in between, because they don't know how to read Sanskrit, so you have to supply it. Once you read Aryan Sanskrit, these are hindrances and obstacles. He was modest and kept his feelings concealed, and his deliberations secret, and attracted followers. His wrath and pleasure were unfailing, and he knew when to release funds and when to withhold them. Halfway, wow. So as hard as reading Sanskrit. He was unflinching in devotion and stable of mind, did not gather unworthy men about him, nor did he utter foul words. He was free from sloth and vigilant, and was alive to the faults of his own people, as well as to those of others. He was free from sloth. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Sorry. I am so sorry. I know how to read Sanskrit better than English. It's really sad. He was unflinching in devotion and stable of mind, did not gather unworthy men about him, nor did he utter foul words. He was free from sloth and vigilant, and was alive to the faults of his own people as well as to those of others. He was well versed in sacred lore, and recognized the services of others, could read men's mind, and was clever in meting out punishment and bestowing favors according to the principles of equity. He was expert in gathering pious men about him and patronizing them, and knew where to use violence. He was conversant with the methods of tapping the sources of income, and knew the art of expending money as laid down in the Shastras. He had acquired proficiency in the Shastras, as well as in works written in a mixed tongue, and enjoyed the pleasures of sense, keeping inviolate the principles of righteousness, and maintaining the soundness of his finances. Nay, he never remained inactive. Maintaining the soundness of his finances. I want to read it again. He had acquired the proficiency in the Shastras, as well as in works written in a mixed tongue, and enjoyed the pleasures of sense, keeping inviolate the principles of righteousness, and maintaining the soundness of his finances. Nay, he never remained inactive. Wow. He was a connoisseur of arts, intended to entertain oneself, and knew how to allocate funds. He was an expert in riding on and taming elephants and horses. He was the foremost of those knowing the science of archery, and was esteemed in the world by Atiratas. He not only knew how to make an inroad, but also how to take an offensive, and was skilled in disposing the army in a particular battle array. I'll read that again. It's an awkward sentence. Okay, now I got it. These supplied words are really messing me up. He was the foremost of those knowing the science of archery, and was esteemed in the world by Atiratas. He not only knew how to make an inroad, but also how to take the offensive, and was skilled in disposing the army in a particular battle array. He could not be overpowered in an encounter, even by the gods and demons in rage. He was devoid of a carping spirit, had conquered wrath, was never elated, and never gave way to jealousy. I'm gonna read that again. Why am I making so many mistakes in reading the English translation today? Because I'm lacking cannabis, that's why. He could not be overpowered in an encounter, even by the gods and demons in rage. He was devoid of a carping spirit, had conquered wrath, was never elated, and never gave way to jealousy. He could not be disregarded by created beings, and was not subject to the control of time. Endowed with the foregoing noblest virtues, Sri Rama was esteemed not only by the people, but in all the three worlds. He was a compeer of Mother Earth in forbearance and other virtues, and vied with the sage Brihaspati in wisdom and with Inandra in valor. Like the sun god resplendent with his rays, Shri Rama shone brightly by virtue of his excellences, loved by all the people, and affording delight to his father. Goddess Earth sought for her protector the aforesaid prince, who was endowed with such a character. Goddess Earth sought for her protector the aforesaid prince, who was endowed with such a character, was possessed of valor that could not be subdued, and who vied with the guardians of the spheres. Seeing his son adorned with these manifold incomparable virtues, Emperor Dasharatha, the chastiser of his enemies, for his part reflected. The thought forthwith entered the mind of the aged and long-lived emperor. How should Rama be crowned a king during my very lifetime? How can this delightful event take place? When shall I actually behold my beloved son installed? This alone is the supreme desire revolving in my heart. Commiserating all created beings, he truly seeks the advancement of the people. Like a rainy cloud, he is dearer to the world than myself. He is a compeer of Yama and Inandra in valor, vies with Brihaspati in understanding, resembles a mountain in firmness, and excels me in qualities. Seeing at this age my son holding sway over this entire globe, let me ascend to heaven in due course. Okay, 10, 11. Reflecting thus and perceiving Sri Rama endowed with the aforesaid manifold excellences, I am tired. Okay, last page after this. Reflecting thus and perceiving Sri Rama endowed with the aforesaid manifold excellences, difficult to find in other kings, as well as with all innumerable excellences uncommon in the world, and deliberating with his ministers, the emperor decided to install him as Prince Regent. The shrewd emperor forthwith spoke about the grave risk foreshadowed by the portents appearing in the heaven, in the aerial region, as well as on earth, as also of old age telling on his own body. On the other hand, he learnt of the great popularity of the high-souled Sri Rama, whose countenance resembled the full moon, a popularity which assuaged the emperor's own agony. Nay, for his own good as well as for the good of the people, as also with the view to their gratification, and out of love, that pious monarch urged the ministers to make haste when the time came. The emperor summoned the prominent citizens of various cities, as also the rulers of different parts of the country on the globe. Decked with jewels, the king saw them when they had been honorably lodged in quarters and presented with various ornaments according to their rank, as Brahma would see his progeny. In a hurry, however, Dasharatha invited neither the king of the Gekayas nor King Janaka, and consoled himself with the thought that the two monarchs would hear the delightful news afterwards. Now that the aforesaid monarch, who was capable of destroying the enemy's stronghold, had taken his seat, the other kings, who were esteemed of the people, forthwith entered the assembly. The kings then sat down in a disciplined way, facing the emperor alone on the different seats allotted by the emperor. Surrounded by kings that had received attentions, and were full of modesty, as well as by men who had their residence in the city or belonged to the other parts of the country, and who sat close to the emperor, the aforesaid monarch shone like the glorious Inandra in the midst of gods. I'm gonna read it again. Last shloka. Yeah, English is as hard as reading Sanskrit for me. Surrounded by kings that had received attentions and were full of modesty, as well as by men who had their residence in the city or belonged to the other parts of the country, and who sat close to the emperor, the aforesaid monarch shone like the glorious Inandra in the midst of gods. Thus ends Canto 1 in the Ayodhya Canon of the glorious Ramayana of Valmiki, the work of a Rashvi and the oldest epic. Okay, I'm done. Thank you. 2 hours. Yeah, the Yoga Sutra, the one for today thing is Sutra 32. The comment is like the top 20 longest comment. There are about 200 200 sutras and 200 comments, 180 sutras and 180 comments, and this is top 20 longest I've read today. That's why it took so long. And also the first chapters of most Vedic literature, not most, a good number of Vedic literature. The first chapter of any book is the longest. So this is 51. Sometimes the second canto is also long too. Yeah, it's first two, and then it goes down to 20. Maybe not yet. Yeah, it's gonna. So first few chapters at least, goes over 50 shlokas sometimes, and then usually Ramayana chapters are 20 shlokas or somewhere around there, 25, somewhere around there. Today is double the amount. 25 shlokas usually for a normal chapter, an average chapter of Ramayana. Today is twice that amount, and also the Yoga Sutra with the comment. The comment was the top 20 longest, not top 10 maybe. So yeah, it's a lot of work today, but I figured out how to do this without straining myself more than necessary. I mean, 2.5 hours is a lot. And I did take a 10-minute break, total, compressed together, probably like 10 minutes. Okay. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna do another session of the Hare Krishna Mantra 66. It's what's healing me now. If you see any changes in me, the Hare Krishna Mantra is literally pulling me out of the ditch or my injuries. Anyway, have a good day. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mantra, if you know how to enunciate it correctly, it's the best healing mantra, I believe. Yeah, no other mantra comes close to that. You could heal you if you say the Hare Krishna mantra in the Aryan accent, like a robot. If you said it correctly, perfectly, if you said it perfectly in the Aryan Sanskrit accent, just once, you will become like Krishna. You will heal completely, and then you will look like him a little. Yeah. Have a good day. Na shakhan, na shalom. Thank you.